What's going on, you guys? Lord Addict here. I'm here with Jacob from Draxi Games. We're coming up at you with the Iron Lords podcast, lordsofgaming.net. So first off, what kind of game are we looking at here? You know, tell the realm a little bit about the game.
So yeah, we're making a retro-inspired JRPG. It's called Alterium Shift. It features 3 main heroes who each have their own branching story paths. And you can think of it like you're playing the game from the perspective of your chosen hero. Those stories kind of break up at the beginning and then come back together for a glorious story telling towards the end there.
So when you say like stuff like that, first thing I go to is like the Pokemons with the rivals. Like when it comes to the characters splitting up, is there any specific reason you split them up? Is there like branching paths that might make them do different things, or maybe someone turn into a villain or something? Is there any kind of thing like that we can look forward to?
So the main drive behind the characters is that they are heroes in training.
Heroes in training?
Yeah, so their teacher Dolian is training them in the ways of just trying in combat and trying to teach them to fight this evil, which is the Dark Elves, who 50 years ago there was a great war between the Dark Elves and the humans, and so during that conflict and towards the end the humans won, and so they are now just training for any kind of potential comeback of those Dark Elves. He sends them out on various missions. That's why they split up and go in different paths, because he's trying to find the one, okay? And so each character you play actually ends up being the one through that story path.
Yeah, so kind of like something like Octopath Traveler, where
Right.
there's unique perspectives through every character. Now I'm looking at the art style, it's very unique. Was there any inspiration for that? Kind of reminds me of like old Final Fantasies.
Yeah, so the pixel art itself is more inspired by like Secret of Mana, but the gameplay is more inspired by like Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger. We have a turn-based battle system. You can think of it like Octopath Traveler, where there's a turn order display. You can pre-plan your attacks and whatnot.
So, you know, this type of gameplay has been done a few times. Is there any perspective that you went to differentiate this kind of gameplay from, you know, the competitors that's happened in the past?
So our rule of thumb from the very beginning is we're very retro focused. Mm-hmm. A lot of these games, they do add a lot of really neat systems to it. We kept it more basic and kept it more true to the retro style. Now we are working on some of our own unique systems that we're just not ready to show yet, but you can look forward to during our EA early access.
Well, I think one of the biggest differences, you can see it right here, is the unique characters. And, you know, these games you don't really play as 3 different characters. It kind of gives you a base character you go into, and that's pretty much how it is. So I think right there you can, you know, take the perspective that you guys are branching this out to a different different type of gameplay.
Right, yeah, so yeah, a lot of the times, even with other games, you don't really even see a cohesive storyline. We really want to work that in with these 3 characters. No matter who you start with, that story always comes back together. It's very cohesive between them. That relationship is very important as well.
Yeah, I hear, you know, what's good about these is I feel like indie developers keep these type of games alive. You know, a lot of the bigger publishers don't really focus too much on this, and that's what I really saw this and I really gravitated towards it, because I like these style games. I feel like they do really well at telling a story. They have solid gameplay. But you know, what else do you want to tell the realm when it comes to Alterium Shift?
Basically, you know, if you are a fan of these retro classics, just like you said, we are looking to keep that feeling alive. Nostalgia was the factor that we were looking for from the get-go. You know, we wanted to trigger, you saw this game, oh yeah, I remember Chrono Trigger, I remember Final Fantasy VI, I remember Secret of Mana. We wanted to just basically invoke that feeling of nostalgia instantly.
Now, I don't know if you're willing to tell this, but how many hours would you say it would take to complete a playthrough of Alterium Shift?
So currently our demo is an hour long. We're looking to extend that playthrough for about 3 to 4 hours for the early access period. The final product we're looking to do about 10 hours per character. So yeah, about 30 hours if you decide to do all 3 character paths, which we will have incentives for you to do.
Well, you know, it was a pleasure meeting you, Jacob, from Zurich Games. You know, everyone, definitely check out this game. We're giving you plenty of content at PAX East. And until next time, this is Lord Addict. We're signing off, lordsofgaming.net and the Iron Lords podcast. You guys have a good day.